Hey Trader Shane from GMT Futures and FX, welcome. I'm going to take you through our mandate calculator version 2. So basically when you open the mandate calculator you'll probably see some of the cells have been populated with data, so we just need to make sure that we clear that data. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to label our first system. So you'll see there's 5 tabs down the bottom, and you've got trade input, your calculation tab, systems tab, charts tab, and your system input tab. So what we're going to do in this first video is we're going to actually put some data into our system input tab. But before we do that, so this is, you've actually got 40 systems that you can load up in this mandate calculator, which is great. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to name our first system. So the first system I'm going to load up is FT09. There it is there, FT09, Fortress Swing, soybeans, and it's the Gary's version, and I've got the copy of the 3rd of July. So I'm basically going to drop this data in here, so this performance report into my spreadsheet. Now to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the systems tab and actually name this strategy. So we do that, you'll see under column G, we're going to, so under each column you've got the ability to name the system. Yeah, you do that in cell 13, so 13G will be where I'll name it. So that would be FT09, and it's Gary's version. So there, our system is named. So once it's named in that cell, then it automatically gives it the identifier in that cell there, which is G2. So that means that that system is named, and you can see there's no data in there at the moment. So we can go 0 on the R break because we're going to put that value in shortly. So we've got that at 0. So this is clean. Now if we go to our system input tab, there it is there, FG09. So that's our first cell. We want to make sure that we're at the top of the spreadsheet there, and this is where we're going to be dropping our data in. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go, now we've all done this before, we need to go to TradeStation, we need to save this performance report, so we'll do that now, and we want to make sure we've got our 6 months worth of data, so we'll grab 6 months of data. We've got 5, we'll just add in another, so we'll change that to 6 months of data. And this is our backstory. This is basically our system performance, our results on our strategy. We need all that information there so we can build a history of our strategy. And then as we go forward, we're going to track the performance of the system. But this is really to give us an idea or a clue as to how well the system's running and help us build our performance tab and help us build our portfolio. Remember, because this mandate calculator is helping us track our portfolio performance as well. So let's do that. Let's save that as our FT09, and it's Gary's, and we'll call this new. So I can go back in there. Right, so that's saving as an Excel spreadsheet, so that's fantastic. So now we go into version 2 of our mandate calculator. We open it, so we go File, Open, and we're going to go to our desktop here, and we're going to grab our GMT Portfolio 1, which is where I've saved it. There it is there, and I'm opening up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my trade list, and all I'm going to do is just highlight from A5 all the way over to N5, and then all the way down, and that's the data I'm copying. So I'll copy that over. Now when I paste this in, I should see exactly the same stats as I get in my performance report. So mandate, I'm going to paste that into B4. So I just have to paste it. I don't have to paste special. And now I need to make sure when I paste in, I need to make sure that I've got my lots. If it's a futures contract, it's got to be 1. If it's a Forex, it's 100,000. So you can see there, Ross is basically giving you an idea that the beige color cells are the cells used to calculate the figures. So it's the same for all systems. So you'll see that when you go through and look at the strategies. But basically, that's in there. So if I quickly go to my system here, my performance in the system should be at 18,412. So then I go back to my mandate calculator, and I go into my systems tab, 18,412. Perfect. Now I need to work out my max drawdown. So if my max drawdown is $1,000, I'm going to set my R break at probably around about 1,100. So I'll do that now. So I'll put that at 1,100 in there. Right. So what that's doing now is it's saying that I've got my R break's going to come on at 1100. The amount left, because it's not in a drawdown at the moment, is 0. So we're all good to go. Average trade net profit 252. So I get some critical stats on my system, don't I? In this systems tab, that's got some critical stats that I'm going to be looking at for my system. We've got the total profit, which is 18412. The profit for today, well, it hasn't traded today. This last, and you can nominate in the last 1 week, 2 weeks. So I'll put the last 5 weeks, how much profits it's made. It's made 13.25 in the last 5 weeks. In the last 4 weeks, let's see how last month. So about the same. And the last, say, 3 months of trading, 10,950. So this is fantastic. This is a great little feature to see how it's been performing recently. Now, if I want my system included in my overall performance here, I have to set it at 1. If I don't want that data included, I set it to 0 and that turns it off. So that's basically it. So if I want to compare FT09, say, with CT114, I'll add that one in, and I can see basically I've got no data in that one. So let me pick one that's got data in it. Maybe I've got rid of all the data I have. Okay, so all the data's gone. Okay, here's one here with data in it. There's our soybean swing 5 minute. So we add that one in there, and you can see that data's added in, and it doesn't really increase the max drawdown, but it shows you an increase in profit as well. So that's fantastic. So when you start adding systems in, you're going to find that the results are going to change. If I add in ES 2500, I'll turn that on, and that is added in. Doesn't really increase the max drawdown as well, so that's great. So basically we're increasing our profit, and this is what this spreadsheet is designed to do. Once you start adding in systems, you're going to be then turning systems on and off to see how much of a difference those strategies make on your overall portfolio and your risk as well. So that's a little bit on how to input a system into the system input tab, and then making sure that you name it. Obviously put your, and I'll do another example of this in another video, but that's basically it. As far as, it's very simple, just putting the data in, and once you've got that data in, then you're turning the system on and off by the 1 or the 0, similar to the PME, and that'll give you a look at exactly how the strategy is performing from a portfolio point of view. And obviously we can set our start date of our system as well. So if we want our portfolio to start on the 1st of July, we can set that and change that. Basically the ones, or the yellow cells, are the ones that we can adjust and modify. So that's a very quick look at putting your system input data in to the new mandate calculator. Cheers.